There you go. All right. Shalom. Namaste. Salam. Wherever.
Shalom.
Today we are in our kitchen. This is Miss Beth Yahoo. And we are going to show you guys how simple it is to make a meal that is going to support your hormones. Okay, especially if you're trying to lower insulin. So this is a low carb, more on the keto. But I'm also going to show you a version where you can lean into the progesterone building hormone. Okay, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and have Beth Yahoo introduce herself and just tell us a little bit about you and who you are.
I'm Beth Yahoo, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Jax, I've been knowing her for like 4 years now, maybe 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, something.
And she has shown me and my family the way to living a better, healthy life through the foods of the Most High. And we appreciate her. And I just want to put a shout out for her too, with the hormone blend tea that she gives, and it's really good. And I feel a difference with it. And actually, I'm drinking some right now.
Wow, awesome. I like it cold. I like making it cold with a little bit of lemon. And it's so refreshing that way as well, especially when summers. So today we're going to be making stuffed bell peppers. So if you see the Miss Beth Yahoo's arrangement right there, and then here's mine, we're ready to go. So yeah, so this is what we're going to be making. Now we're going to be following the recipe is in your link that you got if you signed up for the Hormone Reset program. You have a link there. That's a basic. I picked them because it was pretty basic. Now, obviously, you are going to substitute where it says pork. You're going to substitute that for lamb if you wish, or you can use grass-fed, grass-finished beef. Okay, don't be using anything else.
Right, no pork.
Yeah, well, if that's your thing, then enjoy. But if you're a clean eater and biblical eater, you want to stay away from the pork. Okay.
Right.
So the recipe is in your links. You can print it out, and then when you're ready, come join us and make this with us. So the first thing that we're going to get started with, reading from the recipe, is you're going to saute. It calls for onions and celery. And you're going to go ahead and saute this over a skillet. Make sure your skillet is nice and warm. So mine is heating up right now. And you just go ahead and saute that really good. So the first step, saute your celery and your onion. All right. So a little thing about onions and why I like sauteing them. One thing is, yes, this is going to be cooked in the oven, but just so you know, onions are a drawer of toxins. So we don't want to eat or consume raw onions at any time. That's one of the #1 reasons people get food poisoning. So avoiding that is going to really help our temples.
I'm going to go ahead and saute some garlic in mine too.
Oh yeah, go ahead and put your garlic in there. So it calls for 3 cloves of garlic.
I like a lot of garlic.
As much as you want. You can do 3, 4, however many you want. Make it your own recipe. And I know we like a lot of seasonings. All right, so we're getting these nice and translucent over here. One thing that you want to that you might want to do is add a little bit of salt to your onions, because it's going to make them sweat, and it's going to draw out some of the aromatic from the onions and the garlic.
Okay. So I'm using Himalayan salt.
That's right. So let's talk about the salt. If it's not pink salt, Celtic, or true salt, you need to get that salt out of your kitchen. If it's iodized salt,
Right.
this salt right here contains about 82 trace minerals, where iodized salt only contains chlorine and iodine, very detrimental to your thyroid and your hormones. So make sure you're using the correct salt. All right, so now my onions and my celery are nice and translucent. The next thing you want to do is add your cauliflower to the mixture. We're going to use cauliflower. This is in your recipe. You're going to saute that in there.
Okay. How much are we putting? How much cauliflower are we putting?
So I just did a whole package. So this is about 12 ounces. And if you have leftover stuffing, this is great because you can make that into its own meal.
I just eyed it.
You can just do it. The recipe calls for, let's see, doesn't tell me. I don't know, it doesn't say. Maybe it does, and I'm just not seeing it. That's interesting. It doesn't say. Oh, 1.5 cups of cauliflower.
Oh, okay. So I think I put a cup in, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to put a little bit more.
Yeah. The neat thing with this recipe is that you can use a variety of peppers. So here's my peppers. Now these peppers came right from my garden. They're on the smaller side. So I'm going to do a little bit more. If you look at Beth Yahoo's peppers, they're a little bit bigger. Make sure, so here's my peppers. That you have to take out the core and the seeds, wash them, and make sure that, put this down a little bit. Make sure that you have organic peppers. Organic, why? Because they do spray these with Roundup. And peppers are one of the dirty dozens. Okay, the dirty dozens that you want to definitely get organic. You don't want to compromise when it comes to your peppers. Now, another thing about peppers, they're going to be high in oxalate. Okay, so if you have an issue with the nightshades, you may want, and lectins, so you may want to stay away from peppers. However, you can take the same recipe and use zucchini. Okay, something like that. So you can the same recipe. You're just gonna, kind of hollow out your zucchini and use it that way. So if you are sensitive to nightshades, kind of stay away from this. Now, we should be eating a variety of foods because this way our bodies do not become allergic or intolerant to certain foods. After a while, you start eating the same thing, you become intolerant to them. So that is a little tip there. So how's your onions doing?
They're doing good. I added the cauliflower in.
Perfect. Yeah, I added mine too. Can I turn it up a little bit here?
I think I need to turn mine up too.
Yeah. Now, this recipe calls for thyme, salt, and as far as the seasons, thyme and salt and pepper, and that's it. Of course, we thought it was kind of boring. We can't seem to do a lot of spices, so we are gonna do a variation, and we'll I'll have her tell you what her variation is, so you can play around with this recipe. Before she does that, since we're in the cauliflower stage here, cauliflower is going to be high in a compound called DIM, D-I-M. Okay, it's a fancy word, but it's a compound that really helps regulate hormones. It actually helps break down the bad estrogens, metabolize the good estrogens, and just balance the progesterone in all these hormones. That's D-I-M, DIM. This is why we're including it in our hormone recipe. This is, and because it is low carb and even keto friendly, you're going to keep the insulin levels down, which is awesome. All right. So do you want to tell them about your variation here?
Well, the only thing I think I'm doing a little different is I'm going to use cumin in mine, but everything else is kind of to the plan.
Okay.
But I don't know. I just feel like cumin this morning. Like if I did it with cumin, I don't know. I could just taste it. So yeah.
So at this point, you add your dried herbs to your cauliflower. Now it calls for a half teaspoon. That just doesn't seem like a lot. So
I
make it yourself. Make it your own.
Yeah, make it your own.
This is cooking.
I love to use a lot of herbs and seasoning. Like I overindulge in it, I think, because I like to, when I walk away from the table, I like to be able to go like taste it after. You know how you have that taste in your mouth, like that was good. Yeah, so I always like to use a lot. I just don't like to use a lot of salt, but I like to use a lot of herbs and stuff.
Yeah, and she says she doesn't like using a lot of salt, and she does use salt, so I know she does. Just don't be afraid of the salt. The salt is not the issue. It's the type of salt that you use that's the issue. So people with blood pressure issues, high blood pressure, it's coming from your iodized chlorine, toxic salt. I'm gonna put dried basil in mine. I'm just gonna put about a teaspoon or so. So you just guesstimate as far as like what you want to put in there. I'm going more with the, it's an Italian flair type of dish.
Right. So I put the Italian mix seasoning that I have here.
Yeah.
And then I put thyme in there, and then I put cumin.
Okay. Yeah. So there is this. Go ahead.
Oh, and then I was gonna.
Is that cilantro? Uh-oh, I can't hear you. Okay, so I'm adding oregano, but Bragg sells this 24 herb spices and Italian spices. I use this a lot in cooking. So it's basically all those Italian seasonings. All right. Now I am going to add some salt to my cauliflower. And that's to taste. So whatever you want to do to taste, it's up to you. All righty. Okay. All right, so the next thing that you're going to do after you have your cauliflower, your sauteing vegetables there with your seasonings and your spices is that you're going to cook it for about 10 minutes, but actually you're going to add some pepper if you want cracked pepper, bell pepper. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper to mine. And if you see, like, I'm not really measuring anything. The measurements are going to be in the recipe, but I'm not really measuring anything here. All right. And no, you're crackling. I don't know what happened.
Something happened.
I can still see you. I don't know what happened to the other one. Now you're supposed to add some type of liquid. You can add bone broth, you can add water at this point. So at this point, you're going to take your walnuts. Oh, I got to accept her back in. Give me 1 second. You're going to take your walnuts and you're going to add it to the mixture. Your walnuts. we already did the tomato paste. So it calls for about a couple teaspoons of tomato paste. You're gonna add a couple of teaspoons. Actually,
Okay.
tablespoons of tomato paste.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, you just stir that up. And actually, I'm gonna get my.
I pretty much eye everything.
Yep, you can just eye it, or you can follow the recipe.
Yeah.
That's in here. I just eye it. It calls for a half a cup of water broth, so I'm just gonna use water since I don't have broth. Which now I don't. Have.
Okay. Yeah, I ended up getting some broth, some bone broth, beef bone broth. Yeah.
Bone broth is really good for collagen. Really good for repairing your gut. A lot of minerals in bone broth. So look at that.
How much liquids are we putting in?
A half a cup.
Half a cup. Okay.
Not much. You just want something to basically dissolve the tomato paste.
Right. Okay.
There you go. She's doing it.
I'm doing it.
We finally got this.
I hope everybody likes it.
Yeah, and I mean, you can make this your own. So if you don't like it, then figure out how you're going to like it. Like, what can you bring to the table that is going to make it your own, right?
Right. And you know what I like to do? I like to taste. I'm a taster. So I'm going to use a clean spoon. And I promise I won't double dip.
It's for your families. I mean, as long as they don't care. It's just for you. The reason walnuts in there, it's gonna give it a good texture because it is low in keto. Typically, a stuffed pepper is typically paleo, and they usually use something like a legume. Okay, so I'm gonna do that version too. That's that's in there to give it a little bit of that crunch that we use the legumes. Okay. Now this should be done. You're basically gonna cook this until it's pretty much cooked down, not too wet.
Right. Okay. I just added more garlic and pepper because I'm just like I said, I love to use a lot of put some more onion powder in it too.
Okay, so this is where we get creative. This is where like, okay, does it taste good for us? So I know I'm gonna add more onion powder to mine. Now the recipe does not call for onion powder, but this is where you make it your own, right?
Right. I'm gonna add some more cumin.
There you go. See how we're doing this? And then cook together. Make them, make close together. Get
yes.
We're
making medicine.
Yes. So let your food be your medicine, right?
Right.
Now you're going to need some type of a bowl, okay? Because you're gonna need ingredients in here, and you're gonna need actually. I guess I have my grass-fed, grass-finished meat here. It's very important to use grass-fed, grass-finished, no antibiotics ever. Remember in our hormone lessons, we learned that our hormones are very sensitive to toxins, okay? So if it's in your meat, it's gonna affect your hormones, okay? So get it clean. Now for you vegetarians out there, give me 1 second. I will go over my Southwest version of this for you. Now, so you're gonna need your beef. So about a pound, it calls about a pound of beef. And I'm gonna turn off my cauliflower mixture. I'm gonna turn that off.
Yeah, I think mine's pretty much done too.
And you're gonna need 1 egg. So I have some pasture-raised organic eggs. Again, make sure your eggs are farm fresh eggs, okay? And you're gonna put that. You're gonna go ahead and put that in your meat. Sorry, I'm looking down here. Oh, pasture-raised. Yes, that's a good brand. I like that brand.
So put one in the meat.
Yes. You're going to do. Yep, you're gonna put it in the meat. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll set this to the side.
Yep.
Ooh, that's hot.
I just turned it up. I left it on the stove over there. And you're just gonna add your 1 egg to the raw meat. We're not cooking the meat. Okay, not yet. We're not cooking it yet. It's gonna be cooked in the oven. I lost my towel here. Okay. And you're gonna need I need this. A stiff spatula, and it says that to use your hands. If I had gloves, maybe, but I don't have.
No, I think I'm gonna go ahead and use my hands though.
Yeah, you can do your hands.
It makes it easier.
For you.
I need some gloves too, but it is what it is. So I'll go ahead and.
You can use your hands, and then at this point, I would layer your beef, your meat with some salt and extra seasonings if you're into seasoning. Okay, I am.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put some extra salt in there and
Right.
some pepper. Okay, I like seasoning in layers. That actually really allows the flavors to come out instead of just seasoning one time.
Me too.
Yeah, I think, yeah. So you're gonna mix that. So this is how it looks like. Oh, I better not spill mine. Let me see if I can get it over here. There we go. All right. All right. So get that nice and browned up. All right. The next thing we're gonna do now, these vegetables are going to be hot. So I would definitely recommend using a spatula unless your vegetables are cool, because you're gonna add those vegetables into your meat. Okay. So.
Take my rings off.
Huh?
So let me take my rings off because.
Oh, that's gonna make it a lot.
Hey.
Okay, so we're gonna see if I can do this without burning myself because it's very hot. You're gonna add your vegetables to the meat. It smells delicious already. And remember, if you have leftover stuffing, then you can use that for like a breakfast. So literally just crack, do a fried egg with this mixture of the meat and the cauliflower, and you have a nice low carb breakfast right there. Now this pan is really hot. Yeah. I can sort of hear you, but I'll keep talking. Like, I have to talk. So once you get it all in there, use your spatula and you're going to mix it. Mix it really good. Remember, we're not going to worry about the raw meat because it's going to cook in the oven for almost an hour. So it's going to ensure that your meat is nice and cooked. If you have like fresh thyme, oregano, fresh parsley, this is the time you can add it. I like to add my herbs towards the end so they don't overcook. And I'm gonna add, actually I've decided I'm gonna add some more dry basil to mine. Yeah, look at that. All right, so at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and stop. I'm gonna set my oven to 350. So you're gonna set your oven to 350. Okay. Today is a nice rainy day here at the homestead, so it's a perfect day to make this video for you guys.
Can you hear me, Jax?
No, I'm getting the static sound again. I'm getting that static, like you're in the wind.
Okay, so let me back in.
Okay. All All right, so I have my mixture. You want to mix it up really good. Oops, did I spill some? And then you're gonna set that aside for a moment. Okay. Now the next thing you're gonna do, if you haven't done it already, is you're going to take your peppers. I mean, ours is already done. I just did one just for the heck of it, so I can show you how I do mine. Whoop, I'm gonna put you guys down here for a second. And I literally just go around in circles on the top of the
I can't hear.
I know. And I will use my hands, and I literally will take out the seeds in the inner flesh. I don't know what you call it. But did you know peppers are actually super high in vitamin C? Yeah, so
I didn't know that.
actually higher in vitamin C than lemons. Way to bring in your vitamin C. Your body cannot make vitamin C. I think it's interesting because there's certain animals that do make their vitamin C, but humans don't make their own vitamin C. So my peppers have been washed already.
Yeah, I washed mine.
You want it hollow. You want them nice and clean. You want to make sure there's no imperfections in there. So, okay. Let me take this. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go over here. All right. Okay. So now, the next thing you're gonna do is I'm gonna take you're gonna need a pan. So some kind of deep dish pan. It can be glass. It can be aluminum. You know, this is what I'm going to be using. What you want to do is take your pan and you're going to add marinara sauce to it. Now let's talk about marinara sauce. I know, are you going to use your homemade stuff, Beth Yahoo?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one thing about marinara sauce is going to be really high in sugar. Okay. Make sure it's organic. This is a good brand. This has 6 grams of sugar. Okay. I stick with 6 or 3 grams. I have been able to find some marinara sauces that are closer to 3 grams of sugar. Anything more, it's gonna be too high. Okay. So you're gonna put the marinara right in here, and it calls for 3 cups. So I'm just gonna say this is about close. I'm gonna do about half. I don't want to do the whole thing. So you're gonna put the marinara sauce right in your pan.
Okay.
Look at that. All right, so you're gonna put your marinara sauce right in there. Okay. Now you can also, top your peppers with some in it. So, but this is gonna allow the pepper to kind of steam in this sauce. Okay. And you can put the sauce right, like when it's done, put it right on top. Okay. If you desire. Okay. So I did about, I would say 2.5 cups in here. I didn't use the whole can, the whole jar. Okay. Next, you're going to place your peppers. Let's see. You're going to put your peppers right in your pan. Like that. And I'm going to, and it calls for, you have to have 6 peppers. So I'm going to do 6, and I'm going to do 3 with the Southwestern. Actually, I'm going to switch this one out for this one. Okay. All right. Great. So the next thing you're going to do is stuff your peppers.
Okay.
And I left 2 peppers out. I'm going to show you how to quickly make the Southwest version, which is my version. And that plant-based one is literally good for a couple things. If you don't have to lose weight, that's a good version for you. If you're a plant-based eater, just because you are just a plant-based eater, you have chosen to do that, this is a good one for you. If you are a cycling lady, perimenopausal, or under 40, the Southwest plant-based one is going to be good for you during day 21 of your cycle, because that's when you want to build progesterone. And a lot of these ingredients in the plant-based one leans into those progesterone building foods. And we'll go over those in a second. So right now I'm just stuffing these peppers. See, she's doing a great job over there stuffing her peppers. My peppers are a little smaller, so I have to kind of be careful with it. Go in there. I need a smaller spoon.
Right. Yeah, maybe it's
Or something. Yeah, you go. That's better. I need a smaller spoon here. Here's a tip. Use a smaller spoon.
right.
All right, there we go. Now,
Are those peppers from your garden?
Yeah, these are from the garden. I actually went and harvested them yesterday.
Oh, cool. That's why they're small.
Yeah,
mine are from the grocery store.
Yeah, some of them are big, some of them, but the thing is I didn't harvest them in time, and some of them kind of a little wrinkly. So I'm going to use those for a different recipe, but I needed good ones for this recipe.
Right.
Now, this dish that we're making, the reason why we are making it, one is just to encourage you guys to make your own foods at home, make them taste really good. Try to stay away from so much of the I'm just looking at my pepper, it looks weird. Okay, it's just green. Try to stay away from the restaurants so much, only because you're gonna be using oils that are going to disrupt your hormones. So the oils that they'll probably be using is canola, corn, vegetable oil, and create what's called PUFAs, or polyunsaturated fat. And those PUFAs go rancid, okay, really, really fast. And they're going to cause things like cancer, disrupt your hormones. So making things at home is going to make it so much easier, because you know exactly what's going into your ingredient. You know their quality, you're taking care of your temple, you're feeding your family really healthy.
Right. Yes. Okay. And the rest that I have left over, I'll freeze it for next time.
Oh, there you go. You can freeze it, or you know, you can do also, once you want to use it again, put it in a cast iron skillet, you know, cook up your meat and all that. Add some scrambled eggs to it, and you have an amazing breakfast.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did say that earlier.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. So mine are stuffed. You're stuffed?
Mine are stuffed.
All right. So we're gonna put this to the side because mine are stuffed.
But this one's kind of long and different, and is just falling all over the place.
Oh, just put it on the side. Just put it. Maybe put it in the middle. Put it in the middle in between the.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah. Prep them up. There you go.
Yeah.
A couple little help. Okay.
Yeah.
All
right. Support each other.
Support each other. Yeah. Hers are nice and pretty. Mine are like, look at mine. So mine are nice and stuffed. Hers
they look good.
The next thing we want to do, obviously, if you are intolerant to dairy for whatever reason, because you have an allergic reaction or whatnot, you're obviously going to skip this split part if you can't do dairy. Now, I do dairy, but the only cheese, we're gonna basically top the peppers with the cheese. Do you want to show them the cheese we are using?
Yeah.
So we're gonna.
I did my cheese different, kind of. I just kind of do like that.
Okay.
I was being lazy.
Yeah, you can shred it if you want to. If you just want to cut them in slices, that's fine. I'm going to just.
This cheese is so good. And I'm not really a big cheese eater either.
So
this cheese.
This is the cheese that we're using. This is the only one that I actually recommend. There might be other brands on the market, but the reason I like this one is because it's raw, and it's raw cheddar, sharp cheddar, and it's pasture raised cows made, and And if you look at the ingredients, all it says is a sharp cheddar unpasteurized. That's a key. Unpasteurized means that it's raw. They did not, it means that they didn't heat it up and kill all the enzymes. And they didn't, you know, because once you pasteurize milk and all that, you actually are getting rid of all the enzymes. And some of these enzymes are helpful for our digestion. Okay. A lot of people that are allergic to milk literally could be because of the being pasteurized. So this is raw, unpasteurized, and this is going to help support your hormones a lot better. So on the website, so this is what I want you guys to do. For if you are okay doing cheese, get used to eating raw, unpasteurized, organic cheese only. Okay? The best for the bestest, right? That's
right.
If you are dairy sensitive or you worry about the dairy for whatever reason, go to my website and there is a basic plant-based cheese sauce that you can do. Now, this you're not going to put on here right now. You're going to put this at the end. You're going to drizzle it on. This is like a queso type of cheese sauce that I make, and I made it for the other ones. All right, so my beeper went on. Went on. Okay. It went off. So here's how hers looks, and here's how mine look. Snapshot of that.
I just cut the cheese and slices. I didn't feel like grating it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put mine in the oven.
Okay, me too. Put mine in the oven.
For 50 minutes.
How many minutes?
50.
15.
Yeah. Okay. So when you guys see this video, it'll be fine because I think I'm going to have Brooke like expedite the time or the speed so that it takes, by the time you see the peppers done, we're not waiting 50 minutes. But while that's in the oven, I need to get another. Okay. I have another pan, and I told you I was going to show you a version of that Southwest version. And this is plant-based. This is dairy-free. And I told you I would talk about the ingredients as far as like, see, so there it is. What we're going to be putting in it. Okay, so you're going to need a bowl. Make sure all your ingredients are cooked. So you're going to pre-cook all your ingredients. And I'm going to guesstimate. Maybe I'll be kind and use I have cooked black rice. Okay. If you're not used to cooking with black rice, using the Instant Pot is super simple. This is, when I cooked it, it was one and a half cups of wild black rice and to a little bit less than 2 cups of water. Okay. And I also did, like I said, taste some onions and before and garlic. And then I added the wild rice and I brought out the nutty flavor of the wild black rice. After you saute it, then you're going to add your liquid about a little bit less than 2 cups. If you go over 2 cups, you're going to have very mushy black rice. You know, it's very sensitive to liquid. It is better to have it on the dry side because you can always put the liquid in. You can't take it out. So mine turned out pretty good. So I'm going to add, and then you're going to cook it for, you're going to put in your multi-grain. I think the multi-grain function on your Instant Pot is about 40 minutes. So if you don't have the function, it's about 40 minutes. Okay. And you just let it self-release about 15, 20 minutes. So I'm going to use some wild black rice. In my bowl it goes. Let's put this over here. I think you guys can see. Okay. I'm going to use chickpeas. Now I made this in my Instant Pot as well, but you can use black beans. You can use any kind of bean, really. It's going to give you your protein. Now, the black rice, the reason I like it over white rice is because it's more of a seed and not a legume. This is about a cup or so of chickpeas. do you see how dark that rice is? It's going to be rich in polyphenols, okay? And polyphenols are going to be good for your immune system. This is a high protein rice or seed, or, you know, okay? All right, so then the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add a little bit of rice. I'm gonna add my seasonings as if, you know, and I'm gonna do a Southwest version of this. So I'm gonna add some cilantro. There you go. Whoop. Cilantro in goes. And then as far as my seasonings, I'm gonna do some chili powder. And again, you could do, I'm gonna use a half a teaspoon here, so you see how much I'm making. Half a teaspoon.
What's the benefit of the cilantro?
So cilantro is really good at purifying your blood and pulling out heavy metals from the blood, like mercury is one. This is why we use cilantro all the time in our home, because it pulls out heavy metals from the blood. And remember, if you have a lot of heavy metals in your system, those are hormone disruptors. Those heavy metals, then they actually cross the blood-brain barrier into your hypothalamus, your pineal gland, your pituitary gland, and you start building these toxins right in your brain. And remember, we calibrate from the top down. So if your hypothalamus is calibrated and clean, everything else falls into function. Okay. All right, I'm gonna add some cumin, and I'll probably start with a half a teaspoon. I like a lot of cumin, so I'm gonna do about 2 teaspoons. Yeah, you just guess it. 1 to 3 teaspoons, okay? And you're gonna add salt, pepper to taste. I'm gonna add some thyme. Thyme will carry the Southwestern flair that I'm going for. A teaspoon of that. Now let's, oh, the onion powder. And then onion powder will be the last thing we'll add. Onion powder, you can do garlic powder in here. I'm gonna do some paprika. Paprika is always good. And yeah, and you stir it all up. You're gonna stir it up. Now, once you have your cheese made, because if you go to nomadicwonders.com, you will see the recipe for the plant-based recipe. You can use any nuts. I actually prefer using walnuts and macadamias and pecans versus cashews, because cashews are going to be higher in sugar. Yeah. Try to stay away from cashews for my plant-based, though the recipe calls for cashews. Don't be afraid to use other low glycemic nuts. I'm just going to add maybe, actually I need a spoon to scoop it out. A couple of spoons just to get that flavor in there. Now, with this plant-based cheese sauce that I made, I did go ahead and add a couple of this liquid smoke. Just make sure that your liquid smoke, it's literally just hickory and water and maybe like water, vinegar, or don't make sure it doesn't have any extra like dextrose, maltodextrin, MSG, because a lot of those things will have MSG in them. Those are hormone disruptors. You don't want that. Just make sure you have a clean hickory flavor smoke thing. So here you go. So I mixed in, and the sauce that I made, I did a Southwestern by adding the hickory, the liquid smoke in it. So it just gives it that nice flavor. Okay, so there it is. And now we're gonna stuff the peppers. Let me go ahead and put this down here so you can see. And I'm just gonna make 2. Again, you're gonna put your marinara sauce on the bottom. Now, because everything is cooked with the plant-based one, you don't need to cook it as long. You only need it probably like 20 to 30 minutes, even if that. I would say lean towards 20 minutes because you don't want to overcook your stuff, because everything is already made, right? Everything is cooked. So when I put it in there, and I'm just gonna stuff it. Now you can add, if you wanted to add walnuts, pine nuts, or any kind of nuts to this, you're more than welcome to do that. And the reason I like this recipe for progesterone is because anything with legumes, the polyphenols, the wild black rice, is going to help build progesterone. Okay. And during progesterone building time, which is around day 21, you do not want to be in a hermetic stress point. That literally just means you don't want to stress yourself out with fasting too much. Okay. So there you go. They're nice and stuffed. And they're going to go in the oven. All right. So I'm going to stuff them really good. Can't wait to try this one. So when, there. All right. So this is how they look like. There you go.
Well, that looks good.
They go in there. And I'm going to put them in the oven, and I'm just going to keep an eye on these for about 20 minutes or so. All right. So here we are. We're back in business. So that's pretty much it as far as the recipe. Now we just wait for them to be done. And see, you can see how easy you can make a hormone supporting recipe, even if you're plant-based. So don't be afraid.
Right.
Honor your hormones. Now I do have to say that again, legumes, so chickpeas are legumes. If you have issues with lectins or oxalates, things like that, you just have to be sure you're careful with that. Okay. Especially, fix the issue first. Okay. Fix a lot of the triggers would be like arthritis. If you have arthritis, gout, things like that, it could be coming from oxalates and lectins from this. And lectins are literally just plant proteins that your plants naturally have that in there for protecting themselves from predators. Okay. Oxalates, you're going to find more in nuts and seeds. You're going to find them in a lot of greens, so we can't just give up all our foods, because I see a lot of this stuff and everywhere. Don't eat this, don't eat that, don't eat this. But how about we just eat moderate amounts, a variety of foods, right? At the right time when our bodies need, and use fasting as a tool to heal ourselves and heal our hormones. So it's knowing when to eat it, what to eat, and fix the issue first. So if you have sensitivities to oxalates or lectins, how about remove them, rebuild your gut, and then bring them in a little bit at a time and allow the tolerance to build up again. So there's wisdom in that, in removing a lot of the foods and then bringing them back in. All right, so now that I gave a speech about lectins and oxalates.
Well, thank you for that, Jax. That was informing.
Yeah, so you guys look for this cheese. Here it is again. Really?
Oh yeah, that cheese is good.
Yeah, this is what I eat. And when I choose to eat cheese, that's what I eat. I think they have other flavors. I do other flavors. So do you have any questions, Metyahu?
Do I have any questions?
You want to
no.
Give me a story.
So wait, no, yeah, maybe I do. So what about the cumin? What is the benefits of the cumin?
Well, besides making things taste really good, cumin,
right?
I don't know all the benefit profile of cumin per se, but a lot of spices will have oils. They have different oils that can help with inflammation. Okay. Look at the profile. I can't tell you what the profile of specifically cumin is. I probably do, but it's not coming to me. So look it up.
Right.
Research.
Okay.
The benefits of cumin. It's used all over the world. Indian cuisines, Spanish cuisines, a lot of African cuisines.
They use it in tacos too.
Yeah,
that's one of their main things that they use in taco cuisine.
So I know that a lot of these spices have benefits for our health. Okay.
Yeah.
And we talked about the salt, and we talked about all this other stuff. So we'll be back in a bit, and we're gonna show you the final product. Okay.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna
Okay.
you and I can talk. I'm gonna have
Okay. Okay, Brooke. Take two, Brooke.
all right, so we're back.
Hey.
And I have out of the oven, I have my plant-based version right here. The way I'm going
Get
to
mine.
dress these are kind of hot, so I'm gonna very
Ooh.
carefully put it on your plate.
Oh, shoot.
And then you're gonna put some of the sauce right on top. You're gonna put some of the sauce right on top of your vegetarian. So we're starting with the vegetarian. And then,
Ooh, this looks good.
oh, look at her.
So good.
And then I'm gonna add some extra of the vegan cheese right on top of the
Yes.
vegetarian ones, just to
Yeah,
top
that
it
looks
off, like that. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna put this one up because this is how it looks like.
Yes, that looks delicious. That looks so good.
Okay, so this is the vegetarian, and we'll do a taste test.
Okay.
Yeah, my beeper went off too. Look at these.
They look delicious.
We made some. There they are. And then for these ones, you don't need to add anything else. They're good as they are. So what I would do,
Yeah. This one inside.
you can press one up if you wanted to. Like you can add chives and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna put one. I'm gonna put one right on my plate.
Okay, let me put one on my plate.
And you can use some of the sauce. And just put the sauce right on top. You know, extra sauce.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay. I'm gonna use this. Ooh, it's so big too.
You see that? So put some sauce. Yeah, this is, and then you can have this leftover sauce for other things if you wanted to. But look,
Good. I'm
there
gonna
you
pour
go.
sauce over mine. Like this.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That one fell.
Fun.
The tall one fell.
The top one failed.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So let me get a fork.
Oh yes. Fork. I guess we could have had Mike taste this. You
I
need a
know,
knife.
huh?
I think you're gonna need a knife.
Yeah, we're gonna need a knife for this.
It's gonna be hot too, so don't forget. So how easy was this to make? You know, one
Yeah, it
thing
was easy.
else is to have everything chopped up ahead of time. So if you have everything already prepped and chopped up, then it makes it so much easier. It's just like a boom, boom, boom thing to do. Oh, look at her. Okay, you guys watch her cut it. Oh, there's meat.
Ooh, look at the juices
Oh,
coming
yeah.
out.
Yeah, the meat is nice and done.
Ooh.
There's a lot of juice in here. It's gonna be hot, girls.
Oh yeah, this is hot. We gotta.
I want some meat in mine. Like it made like a little
Okay.
hamburger patty inside, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, put some cheese on there and some
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You taste it?
I want everything on mine.
Yeah.
Put some more. Okay.
Hot. So
Yeah.
short.
It's gotta cool off.
Yeah, I just blow it. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Whoa. That is good.
That's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting your
It's
veggies.
good. Okay, I'm smacking.
You're getting your veggies, your meats, you know, your protein. It's low carb. Now, if you want to go strict keto with this, one thing I recommend is make your own homemade sauce, because you can control how much sugar is in your sauce. All right. If you're doing just low carb, I would say keep it under 6 grams of sugar. Okay. You're not to worry about that. Yeah, but this is really good. And guess what?
It is good.
dinner is made.
Dinner is made.
So what I would do with this is I would pair with a really good salad, like a really, not a boring salad. Make your salads meaningful and make your salads relevant, meaning put good stuff in there. You know, your seeds, your veggies, okay? Your sprouts.
This is good.
She's all eating it.
Look at this is good. The sauce tastes good too.
Now for the sauce, again, if you're worried about the sugar, make your own sauce, okay? But thank you for joining us today for this. Make it, we're gonna be calling this Make It With Us Monday. So every Monday, I'm gonna push out. Actually, we're gonna be making them Mondays. By the time you guys see it, it'll be Tuesday because you know when editing happens. But welcome to Making It With Us Monday. So next Monday, you guys can actually prep this meal for next Monday. Okay. So every Monday you can have a new meal to prep for that week, and then you'll have leftovers too. So so I hope you enjoyed this this video on how to make low carb keto stuffed peppers in the plant-based version, which I didn't taste, but let me tell you, I did taste the filling. It was really good.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, did you taste that one? The plant-based one?
I did taste the filling already. Kind of full here. But you guys, go make this. You know, grab a friend, grab your friend and go and make something awesome for your family. You can also you can probably freeze these too if you wanted to.
Oh, really?
Freeze them, right? And yeah, so make sure you guys like this video, give us a thumbs up, share it if you wish. And also come join us on the hormone program. We're doing a hormone reset program once a month.
Forget your tea.
Oh yeah. And then next, so that's if you want to sign up with the products, those are the products that you get with your program. And you can also sign up without the products and it's cheaper. So just let me know if you're interested in joining our hormone reset. Just come email me at jax@nomadicwonders.com. The email is going to be below on how to contact me. Subject line hormone reset. Our next month is coming up September 11th, actually this Sunday through August 2nd. And then on the website, you're going to see other dates coming up. So you'll be able to push the drop down menu for the next dates that are coming up. So you can sign up for any of the dates. And and then you can come join us on our Facebook group. If you're not on Facebook, that's okay, because I think I'm going to go ahead and open it up to the community on YouTube. So those who are not on Facebook can go to the community section on YouTube and you're going to see all the posts there as well. So you won't miss out. Okay. All right, guys. Shalom.
Okay. Shalom.
And
thank you, Jax.
Yes, no problem. Bye.
Bye-bye. Shalom.